Now at BioAsia 2025, we have the man who has been running the show, the man behind life science, healthcare and helping companies come here. We have none other than Shakthi, who's joining with us, the Telangana Life Science CEO. Shakthi, thank you so much for joining with us.
Pleasure.
It's a pleasure that we have you on CNBC-TV18.
Thanks for having me.
And you know what I want to talk about, and this whole roundup of BioAsia 2025 for me has been so interesting to understand how companies are thinking and what Telangana has managed to do for these pharma, healthcare, life science companies. I want to understand your story behind, bringing Telangana here where it is. We have so many GCCs. 7 out of 10 pharma global companies are here, right? So the story to here, and now what is the strategy going forward?
Thanks, Vinnii. Telangana has over last 3-4 decades consistently invested in pharma and life sciences, right? So we had Indian Drugs and Pharmaceutical Limiteds. From there, a number of companies started coming out of it, started growing. That created a base, a foundation for growth story in the life sciences sector. Governments, let's say early 2000, recognized that biotech is an emerging area. So from small molecule, they started investing in biotechnology. That investment again expanded our ecosystem. And about a few years ago, there was a medical device recognition that that's the next big growth area. So consistently, we've looked at expanding this whole life sciences canvas. Today, if you look at, we have 1,800 life sciences companies in Telangana. Combined valuation is about $80 billion. And the aspiration that we have is to make it $250 billion by 2030. Right? How do we do it? By getting new companies in, help existing companies grow. Putting in necessary infrastructure that is required for companies, both from technical and also social. Help build more talent, ensure that talent is available across different categories of pharmaceutical industry, entire continuum, right? So with all of these, we believe we are in fact we are growing much faster than the national average. The national average is about 14%. We are growing at about 23%, despite having a large base. Some of the facts that will surprise you is 1 in 3 vaccines that are produced globally is from the city of Hyderabad.
Oh, wow.
40% of India's pharma production, small molecule, is from the city of Hyderabad. Probably Telangana, in fact, Telangana is the only region which has 269, only region to have more than 200 FDA approved sites. Next to us is New Jersey, which has 199. For small molecules. So that's how strong the life sciences ecosystem in Telangana is. Like you said, today we have 7 out of 10 pharma companies, and most of them have come in the last year or so. Why this is happening is because of a very strong ecosystem. GCCs typically have been either a cost center or have been a technology center. But now companies are starting to think about much beyond just a cost or technology center. They're looking at discovery, they're looking at clinical work happening from here. As they look at this, Hyderabad emerges as that destination which gives them ability to do a range of things, not just one part, but the range of things. If they're looking at, let's say, clinical, there are several institutions that are already working on this. Availability of talent, availability of infrastructure. And from there, if they look at a growth plan, if they want to set up, let's say, a laboratory, we have this established cluster called Genome Valley. There is an ecosystem that's fully developed, which is not in silos, but a holistic ecosystem that really differentiates Telangana from the rest of the country.
Absolutely, it's very interesting. And one point that I want to just ask you is in terms of talent. Now, while overall we know talent in this industry, healthcare, life science, is not as much as we need. The demand is much higher than the supply that we have. What are you doing on that front as well? Anything that we could watch out for? Because if so many companies are coming here, it's easier to get people who are already in that field or, already skilled to get and hired.
We are doing a number of things. One, we're looking at talent as a pyramid. We are looking at skilling. Availability of talent is there, right? They are not industry ready. How do we create industry-ready talent pool? Second is awareness at the entry level, right? If there is a career choice between technology and life sciences, it is natural for the kids to choose technology because of multiple reasons, the kind of societal value that's associated to it. So we are working with pharmaceutical companies to be able to create that awareness in terms of career path, the kind of salary growth that can happen here. If you look at the trajectory of growth from a technology and life sciences industry, it kind of reaches towards, after 2-3 years it corrects itself, and then the career option is much better in life sciences. But the industry has not communicated this to the larger public, right? So we are trying to enable more and more communication around career options in life sciences. Number two that we are doing is reskilling our existing workforce, right? So there are newer skills that are there. So how do we really reskill them, upskill them? So that's another effort that we are doing. And the last one is to set up a new world-class life sciences university, right? So idea is to create a ISB for life sciences. For those of your audience who are not familiar, Indian School of Business is one of the top-ranked B schools in the country, which was started in partnership with a few global institutions. So we are now in the process of establishing one of the world-class life sciences universities, which will focus on both research and education.
That's very, very interesting to know. There's one more thing is in terms of GCCs, right? Like Bangalore was there. We knew for the last few years, Bangalore obviously had the pace, but Hyderabad came in quick with the number of GCPs. The pace at which we saw those GCCs coming here, especially in this healthcare life science side of the business. What are your thoughts on that? And your infrastructure is there to build and get more people on that front and more companies on that front in GCC, the pace at which we are growing?
So, infrastructure, there is so much that's getting done to keep pace with the development that's happening from an infrastructure, both from social infrastructure and also technical infrastructure for GCCs. And when GCCs, like I said, make an assessment in terms of location, they look at multiple different things, ability to grow and the kind of work that they'll do. So the lab infrastructure that's available, the academic connections that are possible. There are 50 plus national international institutions in Hyderabad. Accessing startup ecosystem in a very structured way. So all of these elements really put Hyderabad better than most of the other cities, and that's why you've seen 7 of the top 10 global pharma choosing Hyderabad. And I'm very confident that we will make it 10 out of 10 in a very, very, very short time.
Hoping for that. On that positive note, thank you so much, Shakthi, for joining in with us. I have to have a longer conversation with you because I have a lot to talk and understand. But as of now, thank you so much for joining in with us.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Make informed decisions with comprehensive analysis on the go.
Strengthen your portfolio with real-time market updates on the go. Create effective strategies with insightful expert opinions on the go.
Grow on the go with CNBC-TV18, now streaming live 24/7 on YouTube.
Well, thanks so much for tuning in to CNBC TV 18. Make sure you follow us and stay updated on all our social media platforms.